a great question about the Olivia. Her question is, during this election, you're going to hear some candidates say one thing about the Olivia, and other candidates are going to say other things about the Olivia, and how do they know what to believe? I'm going to speak from my experience with the Olivia. As a planning commissioner, not only that was a planning commissioner, I was the chair of the planning commission for the meetings in November and December. We received the package on Friday night, late Friday. I mean, like almost Saturday morning, the day before, or before the Tuesday of our planning commission meeting. I spent the weekend with that thing. And I had a challenge in those 4 days of finding the hole. And I know there's some very good people with some very good minds out there. And I wanted to help. I want to see if there was somebody who found something that I wasn't seeing. And I consciously made in my head a decision that during the meeting, I was going to listen to the presentations of everybody, but I was going to continue the meeting with the ardent plea for the citizens and the residents who are sitting in that room: go home, download this whole package, take a look at it, come back in December, 30 days later, and help me help you to deny this project if it's possible. And so when it came to December and we came back and convened for another 5-hour meeting, I listened to the public waiting to hear that kernel, that nugget, that thing I can grab onto and say, thank you, thank you. Based on that, I can make it. I wasn't able to find it. And you can ask my wife and my daughters. I had papers all over the living room for a full month trying to figure it out. And I couldn't find it. We separated the Olivia decision into two parts: the infill exemption and then the concessions and waivers, which we're entitled to because of the bonus density housing that he was requesting. So really, it was going to come down to the environmental part, the infill exemption, and I couldn't find an answer. So getting back to your question, I know it's long-winded. You're going to hear other candidates say that the Planning Commission and the City Council made a mistake by approving the infill exemption. To that, I say you're wrong. And I'm sorry, but that's from my perspective, my experience, I did not find a reason to deny the infill exemptions based on my research. And specifically, none of the audience that came forward found a reason to deny it. And more specifically, none of my two fellow planning commissioners provided a specific reason to deny the infill exemption based on the 5 criteria that were very clearly laid out for us by our city attorney. Now, I get it, they didn't like it, but neither did I. I didn't want the project as it was. So for them to say that they didn't want it wasn't good enough. A resolution of denial, which was to be signed by the chair of the Planning Commission, required a specific legal reason for denial. And neither the two commissioners who voted no gave me one. Now, one of them self-admittedly said it was an emotional decision. I get that, I respect that, but it's still not a reason for denial. The other one didn't give me anything. I don't know what's going to happen with the current suit, and as it is, it's going to hinge on the environmental question, the infill exemption, and I know that they're going round and round right now. We'll see what happens. I'd be very curious what the final answer is. I just know from my experience and my knowledge and my research and my listening, there wasn't a viable no that was available.